By the way, TJ, we need to get you to Uranus, Monroe, Missouri. Sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a place in Missouri called Uranus, Missouri.
Specifically pronounced that way.
The only way to.
And they have an amazing fudge packing plant there.
Oh, come on. Do I really want to Google Uranus fudge packing plant? Uranus fudge packing Missouri. I think I'm spelling that right. What?
They really embrace the suggestiveness on the billboards.
Oh, off. Do you want to probe Uranus even deeper? What happens in Uranus stays in Uranus. What does that mean? Is that like... Is that meant to be
down there?
Like cookies? Is that their cookies message? I don't know. Yes, maybe it stays in my anus. Uranus. Oh, they've got some big mugs. World's okayest employee. Bob Ross self-painting mug. Now, is that self-painting or is that self-painting?
Like a color changing kind of thing.
Yes, I see. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't want to press it. Are we ready?
I guess.
Nah, let's do it. Here are today's judges. ShadowWolf668, Charles Redding, and TJ Pownell on the Fantasy Tournament Game Show where anything can happen, anyone can win, and you never know who will show up next. It's anyone's game!
Hooray!
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Rob Bourgeois. Let's get this train wreck spinning. So one by one, I'm going to give you a list of 4 characters, or teams, or celebrities. Pick the one you want to see compete, the rest get tossed aside. If you don't know who they are, don't like them, or just don't want to pick them, you can ditch them for 3 replacements. Then you can double ditch for 2, and then you can last ditch for 1. When you do that, you're stuck with whoever you get. Once your character is chosen, we spin the wheel and put it wherever it lands. If it lands on a resolved match, we keep the wheel moving the way it was going until we find a match with no one in it. If our spin results in a match, we draw the contest randomly from the other bucket, and then we get to argue about who wins. Only judges' votes count. I'm not a judge, I'm the host. I'm only here to facilitate. Any questions so far? I guess not.
No, all good.
Liquids, no questions.
Done
just
this before.
liquids. So our previous champion, Detective...
Somebody.
Forgot her first name for a moment. Detective Juliet O'Hara is sitting at the top of the wheel. She will be our 32nd and final player. And to demonstrate the process of how...
Oh, he's leveled up. Alright, fine.
And to
Teacher.
demonstrate... To demonstrate the process of how picking a character works, I will pick one now. I've got Janice from the Muppets, Mickey Mouse from Mickey Mouse, Bambi from Disney's Bambi, and Mung Doll from Chowder. I'm gonna pick Janice.
Who?
So I give that a spin, and while that's spinning, let's go over our ground rules. First, we're assuming that the players want to win, but not that they need to win. Second, no matter the events of a previous match, we're assuming players enter the new match at 100%. Third, players who are known for carrying gear at all times will have their standard loadout for all matches. And fourth, cheaters never prosper. We always catch them, and they are disqualified. Rendering the contest moot, such as teleporting out of an escape room or escalating in violence beyond what's implied by the contest, counts as cheating. So now that the wheel has stopped, our first player, Janice, goes right here and waits for an opponent. ShadowWolf, you've got Anastasia Tremaine from Disney's Cinderella, Clifford from Clifford the Big Red Dog, Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Jabberjaw from Jabberjaw.
Kaiju. Pick the kaiju.
Let's go with Clifford.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Straight away.
Kind of like the first 2 cars on the road in the U.S. crashed into each other. Clifford the Big Red Dog versus Janice in animal impressions.
Oh.
Okay. Which animal is Janice doing an impression of?
That
Who-
depends.
The dog.
Who is Janice,
Animal-
first of all? Let me know who Janice is.
She looks
Okay.
like that.
She's one of the musicians.
Yeah, part of the
Yeah.
Electric Mayhem. Including in the band with Animal, is what I'm saying.
Okay. So now, okay, so if we broaden that, she's now doing animal impressions.
Yeah, capital A.
Yeah, she probably knows quite a lot about animal. I think she'd do a better impression of animal than Clifford would of animal.
To be fair, Clifford would have to be some animal besides a dog.
A cuckoo.
Yep.
And I don't think he'd be very good at doing anything but a dog. So if he could allow it to be an impression of himself, then that's just
That would
okay.
disqualify him.
I don't think it would
But I'm-
disqualify him. It just wouldn't give him any points.
Advantage.
What
Yeah.
noise does an ant make?
So
They make
Alexa.
like a chittering sound.
What noise does an ant make?
Here comes an ant sound. Nice. What animal sound
What do you
would
mean
like to
nice?
hear now?
Nice?
Uh-oh, I don't know what sound that animal makes.
No, I'm not
Try saying
asking. What do you mean
another animal.
nice? Stop. Please stop.
Okay.
Thank you. Right. Is that what? I didn't think they made noises.
They
apparently
actually
they
do
make very small noises, and when you can put a microphone by them, they make that horrifying racket.
Clifford would not be able to do that.
No.
I reckon it's going to be Janice.
Yeah, Janice on that one.
We're starting off strong, having an animal lose an animal impression contest.
It's good. I like this game.
All right, Charlie, your turn. You've got Bill Overbeck from Left 4 Dead, Griffith from Berserk, Joan of Arc from Clone High, or Arthur Reed from Arthur.
That sounds like a big old pile of dick.
But
Rude.
Home
I'm
Dog
going to have to
Berserk.
beat that.
All right,
You ditched Berserk.
Yes, I did, because I've never seen the show and don't care.
you have the Glob Glow Gab Galab from Stravinsky and the Mysterious House,
Why is that in
Uh,
there?
Tintin from the Adventures of Tintin, or former champion Chef Hatchet from Total Drama.
Oh wow, another ditch. Look at that.
Here is your double ditch. You have Ginger Foutley from As Told by Ginger, or Lieutenant Commander Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Alright, let's get Worf in there.
Good choice. Swords are fun.
Swords are fun.
TJ, you've got Captain Olimar from Pikmin, the dog from Duck Hunt, Rizzo the rat from the Muppets, or General Martok from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Muppets and Klingons and dogs.
Oh, get Martok
Oh
in
my.
there. We need Gowron as well, just for extra chances of getting Klingon versus Klingon. Thing is, I know who would win because they.
What about
they
the
had
Duras?
fought.
What about the Duras sisters?
I don't think we've got them on there. I could do that now though.
How's
If
that?
anybody has any suggestions that you'd like to see us put in here, don't think we have them already, then go ahead and go to raspberrygrenade.games, go to the Anyone's Game page, and scroll down until you see the button for submissions. We can take player or event submissions. If you've got a fun idea, hey, let us know. TJ,
Sorry, I've got
You've
to put
got-
in Lursa and Betor Duras
all right.
because of course I know their names.
You've got Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan, Blue from Jurassic Park,
Why am I being
Bear
picked again?
from Bear in the Big Blue House, or BB-8 from Star Wars.
Why am I going again? I just picked.
You picked Martok, so Shadow Wolf, those are your choices.
Let's get Aaron in there.
Charlie, you've got Stewie Griffin from Family Guy, Lord Farquaad from Shrek, Banjo and
Same character.
Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie, or Stanley Ipkiss from The Mask.
How everybody else is getting the Velociraptor. Nope, ditch.
You kind of have a raptor in the form of Kazooie.
It's not the same.
So your last ditch previously would have been Pierce Hawthorne from Community.
Ugh.
You've also got Hugh Neutron from The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, or Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, let's get Malcolm in there.
TJ,
Yes.
you've got Melania Blade of Mikella from Elden Ring, Dennis Mitchell from Dennis the Menace, the Riddler from Batman, or Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Shredder.
Ooh, the Riddler.
Shadow Wolf, you've got Sylvester and Tweety from Looney Tunes, Teddy from Bob's Burgers, Earthworm Jim from Earthworm Jim, or Jake Sisko from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Jake.
We need more variety on the characters. There's a lot of Star Trek happening right here. That's my fault. Sorry.
Whose fault is that?
Charlie, you've got King Aragorn from The Lord of the Rings, Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement, Bubsy Bobcat from Bubsy, or Grogu from Star Wars The Mandalorian.
I do like Aragorn, and he's very effective. I'm tempted to put some Star Wars up there just to counter the Star Trek up there.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy throwing Tim Taylor away. I'm feeling Aragorn.
His name's Grogu?
Hi, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen any episode past season 1?
No, doesn't interest me, Star Wars. My opinion is,
Are you
if it was
shocked
that
that-
good, they would have made more, like Star Trek.
They're always
making a
making
lot.
more. King Aragorn versus Malcolm. Dastardly planning.
Well, Malcolm's pretty clever, but he's not, guileful.
Yeah, I think dastardly planning was more Dewey's thing.
Yeah.
He had a bit of a dark streak, didn't he? What I liked about Malcolm in the Middle was, right at the end, they ended up being the, best people in the world. You had one, master musician, one super cook, and one genius, one scientific and pretty much all-round genius, as well as a family man with a wife and a kid coming along. And they started off so terrible. But I think dastardly planning might have to be Aragorn.
Well,
Yeah.
Aragorn is, he's a ranger, he's a king. You gotta have some guile when you're a king. And
Planning for war,
Some-
bit dastardly,
he
isn't
can be
it?
ruthless if he has to also. He's a good person, but I think he's better for
I
for
bet
death.
he has some dastardly times.
I mean, showing up with an army of ghosts is pretty dastardly.
Aragorn, then? Alright. Alright, TJ. You have Dr. Meredith Rodney McKay from Stargate Atlantis, Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers, Tom Hanks, the actor, or Colonel Jack O'Neill from Stargate, SG-1.
I think Rodney McKay would be very useful. So I'm going to go with Rodney.
Rodney McKay versus the Riddler in a snowball fight.
God, two complete nerds in physical activity.
Right. The Riddler has that cane, doesn't he? With the question mark on
Yeah.
it. So basically, he's got a catapult.
He could use it like an atlatl.
Yeah.
The Riddler tangles with Batman. He's not super physical, but he does fight. But yeah, and Rodney McKay is just not that strong of a physical combatant ever.
He's very competitive, though. I reckon in a snow fight, he would sort of see the lightness of it and just start going for it.
Say he's more competitive than a Batman villain?
Yeah. He would be competitive. I wouldn't say he's... I think that there's a difference between competitiveness and evil doing. He
Yeah, it's just a
does what he
shared
does
trait.
because he's a bad guy. Rodney, if challenged, will take up that challenge.
With the Riddler, he'll ask a riddle, get him confused, then throw.
That would probably disable him for a good hour. But then I think the Riddler would escalate.
Rodney's good at riddles.
Grenade.
Yeah, see, I'm saying, would the Riddler
No,
cheat?
that's more the Joker style.
That really is the Joker's style. He'd use a grenade because he thinks it'd be funny.
I just don't think Rodney would do well in a physical
grenade
contest.
style
I think the Riddler
No.
would do better than Rodney.
I'll agree
Yeah,
with
I'll
that.
give it to the Riddler.
ShadowWolf. You've got Jeff Winger from Community, Prince Humperdinck from The Princess Bride, the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, or Kwame from Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Let's get Prince Humperdinck in there.
There's two kinds of people.
Never
There's
watched
people
it.
who've seen The Princess Bride, and people who kind of hate it because other people won't shut the up about it.
The only thing I know about The Princess Bride is Vizzini, because everyone keeps using his catchphrase.
And
In these
Despicable.
episodes. That's the only place I know it from. Anyone's game.
ShadowWolf, what did you just say?
And Despicable.
No.
Inconceivable. Sorry.
That's the... Close!
Sorry.
You
love that movie, do ya?
Daffy Duck.
Oh, yeah, that Vizzini. Let's
All right.
get dangerous.
Up, and away.
Supper and succotash.
It's a good day to die.
My favorite part of Princess Bride is when James Earl Jones turns into a giant snake at the end.
All right, Charlie, you've got Peter Griffin from Family Guy, Tom Brokaw, the news anchor, Herman Munster from The Munsters, or Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls.
Let's go with Tom Brokaw. Or as he's known in the wrestling circuit, Tom Brokejaw.
Okay. All right, TJ. You've got John Dillermand from John Dillermand, Lloyd Nebulon from Lloyd in Space, Commander William Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation.
I see you
or
looking
Red,
at me, looking for my
the
reaction.
M&Ms. I
Um,
was looking to see why Charlie was laughing.
let's just go for red.
You mean Will Riker, right?
Yeah, the one that's in red. Oh, I'm going to repair this. I'm going to put more characters in.
Red versus Lieutenant Commander Worf. It could have been Riker. Pet sitting.
Okay,
Oh!
right, that's red. That has to be red. Worf and Spot.
He prefers feline supplement number 25.
I understand.
But that just means Worf has experience. And what if the pet is a Targ?
Good point. The only
if the pet
animal
is a
to
tribble?
exist. Oh, he would kill it on sight.
Okay, the thing is, Worf may not be great with pets, but he is very responsible. He does his duty, even when he doesn't like it. Red is an incompetent buffoon. I would not trust him with any of my pets.
I also think Worf is allergic to cats. So unless
But he would still do his duty. That's my point.
He would. Klingons are very much duty bound. They will do it regardless of the suffering.
Worf is like the dad who said no cats and then falls in love with a cat in secret.
And Red will probably just be eaten.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Red
And then the pet
would,
dies.
He would poison the cat.
or the
Just
dog.
accidentally.
Worf, give it to Worf for goodness sake.
Lieutenant Commander Worf versus the Riddler. Ice
Oh,
sculpting.
someone's getting punched.
Worf is good with a blade.
I would go to Worf, actually.
He is.
I mean, the Riddler's very crafty. He makes a lot of stuff.
With ice though. That's more the Penguin.
Ice isn't
Yeah,
really
it's
his
more the
specialty, but he
Penguin
does
style.
have a lot of ice-based friends. Penguin, Mr. Freeze.
Are you saying the skills would be through more osmosis? You know, being near them all the time.
Just for having, partnered up with him before.
They just go.
Oh,
Sometimes
yeah,
they go
kinda
out and
through
not do
osmosis.
evil.
I mean, okay, Worf, I could see doing ice sculpture in his latest incarnation from Star Trek, from the season 3 of Picard. He does meditation now.
And drinks tea.
Do you take sugar?
I just don't see him sculpting ice very well.
I don't
Not a
see him
Klingon
sculpting
thing.
ice, but his craftiness with the blade would probably be an asset to him.
He doesn't have to use the batleth. He can use a better tool.
Well, no, he doesn't use batleths. He uses the mechleth, which is sort of like a hand blade.
Yeah.
Because swords are fun.
Swords are fun.
That might
Yeah,
actually be
swords are
better
fun.
for this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it
yes,
would
you could
be.
use it as an ice sculpting tool if you knew what you're doing, but I don't think he does ice sculpting at all.
No,
Whereas the Riddler does so many different things and is fairly intelligent to figure out other things out.
Yeah.
I think it would be the Riddler.
it would be
Riddler.
the Riddler. But
All right.
I would have really liked to have seen Worf go through with it.
Oh yeah, I want
Yeah,
to
that
watch
would be
it
kinda
or
cool.
try.
I'm always rooting for
ShadowWolf.
Worf. He gets denied so much.
You've got Dream from the Sandman, Big the Cat from Sonic the Hedgehog, Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon, or Percy Jackson from Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
That's good to see the mask in there.
Look at all those pale white boys with dark hair.
I was gonna say,
Forget that
big
bit.
included.
All right,
Yeah.
Tuxedo Mask versus Tom Brokaw. Scrabble.
Ah,
Shit.
News
Tom
anchors,
Brokaw would be great at that.
good with words, aren't they? Who's the other one?
Tuxedo
Sailor Moon.
Mask from Sailor Moon.
He's a
Anything
prince of
Persia.
He's a
We'll say
mysterious person who would show up in a tuxedo with a mask and fight alongside the Sailor Moon team.
actually no, he doesn't fight very often.
Persia. So he's a fighter, not a speaker.
Sometimes he does. He's kind of more of a scout, and
Expendable.
Sailor Moon has a crush on him and doesn't know who he actually is, when in
Mhm.
reality he's like her best friend.
So we're giving it to the news anchor.
I gotta go
Alright.
with him anyways because
That,
he knows
that
what.
kid has too many extracurriculars to study.
Charlie, you've got Nathan Drake from Uncharted, Conan from Conan the Barbarian, Micah Baring from Warehouse 13, or Flintheart Glomgold from DuckTales.
I was going to go with Conan, but let's go with Flintheart. He's too funny.
TJ, you've got Tony Hawk, pro skater, Blossom Utonium from the Powerpuff Girls, President Dwayne Camacho from Idiocracy, or Billy Cranston from Power Rangers.
Billy Cranston, Blue Ranger.
ShadowWolf, you've got Bianca from Spyro the Dragon, Tom and Jerry from Tom and Jerry, Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, or Master Tigress from Kung Fu Panda.
Let's go with Tigress. Sorry, Booby Bunny, but
What are you calling her?
I called her Booby Bunny.
Booby Bunny.
See, I know things are different in England, but here, a bunny is another name for rabbit.
Wait, why? I know that! Why are you telling me that? What is it? What is he calling it? Booby Bunny? What the does that mean? Booby... Who is this character?
Bianca is a, she's kind of like a sorceress who appears in Spyro 3, and if memory serves, she's not very busty.
Hold on, I need to get a picture of her.
She's just anthropomorphic.
Now, if you're talking about Lola, that would make sense.
Oh...
A little bit.
Yeah, see, I don't have safe search on. Booby Bunny, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess without safe search, that would make it make a lot
I
of
see
sense.
why.
Charlie, you've got Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls, the Xenomorph Queen from Alien, Lamb Chop from Lamb Chop's Play Along, or Shirley Bennett from Community.
That's a good set, but I'm always going to pick the Xenomorph Queen.
Spit acid.
Best Disney princess.
The Xenomorph Queen versus Master Tigress in a civil lawsuit.
Master Tigress would not be great at a civil lawsuit, but she is at least capable of being civil.
I don't think the Tigress is likely to dissolve her opponent.
Well, we can assume that what's happening has been explained to them in a way they'd understand.
In a way a Xenomorph could understand.
Universal translator,
Murder
Babelfish.
is not the option.
What makes you think they're capable of understanding?
Babelfish.
They seem pretty animalistic. Although, if we're going to be using a Babelfish, then yeah, I suppose, you could speak to a dog. Clifford, let's get Clifford back in here. This is how you do an ant impression. Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for Tigress on this one though. Just because I still think the Queen would probably try to implant eggs.
She's got other priorities that outweigh a contest victory.
Yeah, we're not trying to defeat again. We're going to separate winning and defeat.
All right, TJ.
Yes.
You've got Megamind from Megamind, Heifer Wolf from Rocco's
Moss and Loft. Rocco's Moss Life.
This calls
Fluids,
for
people. Drink up.
Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or Jim Raynor from StarCraft.
Another
Booby
person
Bunny.
who could be called Booby Bunny.
Booby Bunny. Yeah.
All right.
I hate this.
ShadowWolf. You've got Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars, Mumbo Jumbo from Banjo-Kazooie, the Gecko from Geico, or the Penguin from Batman.
Mojo Gumbo. Jumbo.
Mumbo Jumbo.
Mumbo Jumbo, not Mojo Jojo.
Jumbo Jumbo.
No, it was Mojo Gumbo.
It's just one letter away from Gumbo.
I mean, so is Gumby.
Is Gumby in there?
No. No, he's not.
If we're going to be
Gumby's
adding
not in
class
there.
to scene, then I can think of a few characters.
Yeah, fill out some
Wallace and
some
Gromit.
things.
Rudolph is in there.
Morph. Shaun the Sheep.
Morph from Treasure Planet.
No, not that Morph. English Morph.
Also
Brown.
that Morph. Oh, Mr. Blobby.
Mr. Blobby!
You could be the star of MTV.
Oh, doing that now.
Charlie, you've got Buster Bunny from Tiny Toon Adventures, Harold Kuplowski from Mega's XLR, Flipper from Flipper, or Shenzi Bonsai and Ed from The Lion King.
I do love the hyenas, but I've never seen Flipper go up there, so let's do Flipper.
All right, Flipper versus Jessica Rabbit. Table setting.
I gotta give that one to Jessica. One reason only.
Who? Sorry, I was putting Mr. Blobby in.
Flipper versus Jessica Rabbit.
Dolphins can learn some very fancy tricks.
If the setting is an all-you-can-eat dolphin platter, then I think very good. But yeah, I think Jessica Rabbit.
She'd at least be able to handle the plates.
Oh yeah.
TJ, you've got Lilo Pelikai from Lilo and Stitch, Brad Paisley, the musician, Ka from The Jungle Book, or Rick O'Connell from The Mummy.
We'll go for Ka.
ShadowWolf, you have Counselor Deanna Troi from Star Trek The Next Generation, Dr. Mark Sloan from Diagnosis Murder, Dr. Simon Tam from Firefly, or Bucky from The Emperor's New Groove.
Bucky! Get the
And
scroll in
ironically,
there.
all these people have medical degrees.
All of them, yes.
All the people do.
You're saying Bucky isn't people? He thinks he's people.
He thinks
Bucky's
he's
a
people.
Bucky versus who?
Mumbo Jumbo. Oil change.
Are they getting the oil change?
They are changing somebody's oil. Who would you trust more? A little squirrel or a magic shaman?
I think a magic shaman would have the skills to. He wouldn't even need to
Trustworthy
touch
magic
it.
shaman?
Occasionally in the first game, he accidentally turns Banjo and Kazooie into a washing machine, but then he does turn them right back.
Nuts and bolts. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Doesn't he have a role to play in that?
He runs a parts shop, I think.
I'll give it to him.
That's
There
it.
we go.
I'm not sure I trust the squirrel for the oil change, but I want to watch that more.
he finally gets the bolt off of the oil pan and just runs away with it.
Well, no, he wouldn't be running away with
Stuffs it in his mouth.
the bolt. He'd be running away with the nuts.
Exactly.
Stuffs him in his cheek, runs away.
Sorry.
That was
Took a while to get
Charlie.
to it.
Timing.
Yeah.
Charlie, you've got Milo Murphy from Milo Murphy's Law, Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, Doc from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or Miles Tails Prower from Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, Tails and
well-
Data are basically the same person.
Right. But Tails hasn't snubbed me at a convention, so Tails.
You what? That's a story. Come on.
That is a story, go for it.
Red Spiner asked to shake his hand, and his answer was, I just Purelled. Now, I mean, I'm fine if he didn't want to shake my hand. You know, I'm sure 100 greasy fanboys, if they come up and asked for physical contact, he could have said no, I don't mind that, but I just Purelled was just such a lame, dismissive answer.
I love that that's the sentence he used as well. That sounds gross. I just Purelled
I just
myself. Ugh. Need an oil change.
That tells him, first, you have Purell on you.
Where's Mumbo Jumbo when you need him? He's busy chasing a squirrel for all the nuts.
Alright, TJ,
Please
you've
end
got
me.
Harcourt Fenton Mudd from Star Trek The Original Series,
What's he doing
Dave
in
Lister from Red Dwarf, Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or Stanley from The Stanley Parable.
there? Dave Lister.
Dave Lister versus Jake Sisko. Lockpicking.
Oh my god. That is Lister all the way.
I mean, you say that. He did end up in shackles once and couldn't undo him. He's trying to whack it with a
I mean,
spanner.
that's really hard to do, like if they're around your wrists or
No,
whatever.
around his legs.
Oh,
But I
yeah,
do think
that
it'd be
you're-
something that he could
wouldn't be
do.
so hard.
Oh no! Wait,
And-
no. He does. They play a game. I think it's like Lucky Dip with lockers, and they would just sort of. I think it was a crowbar or something, or like a chisel and a hammer. Just. So he does not. He doesn't pick locks, but he does open things.
Has to pick it.
If you break the lock, you haven't picked it.
I would still
mean,
give it to
Jake
Lister
Sisko-
though.
Also, what is Lucky Dip?
Lucky Dip. You know, you put your hand in a box, and like whatever you pull out, that's the thing you've won.
I have
Whatever you
things
find,
like
you
that, but
keep.
I've never heard it called that.
It's like a raffle drawing almost.
Yeah, but we call it
Yeah.
Lucky Dip.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
raffle
that's
drawing.
I'll
a very
add it to the
British
thing.
phrase.
I reckon.
I mean, Dick Sisko might be into like getting past security for his investigations and whatnot, but he would never be using anything as primitive as a lockpick.
Yeah, I don't think he'd understand it because locks are a lot more complicated in the future, aren't they?
Dave Lister is the kind of character who would not be able to accomplish a very simple task sometimes.
I-
He would try it frustrated. It's a subtle task, and he'd be very frustrated and whacking at it for hours before we figured it out.
The thing is, he's strangely skilled in various areas. Where you'd think he'd be like a drunken mess, you find he's actually quite competent at doing something. He does
Yeah.
have extraordinary luck sometimes. Or like just strange skills. I mean, he did live in.
Is the luck serum part of his
He-
kit?
No, but if we could go with that.
Lady Luck in liquid form. Want to try some?
He grew up in Liverpool and he used to go scrumping for cars. So he does lockpicking, scrumping
used
for
to go
cars.
what?
Scrumping, stealing
I heard you,
apples, but it's for cars. Sorry, I'm using a lot of English slang.
Yeah. that's-
Scrumping is the act of
Scrumping.
stealing apples from orchards. They
Okay, so he was carjacking.
Yeah, but they called it scrumping for cars. So yeah, he
Okay.
can pick locks as far as I can tell.
I feel like that would be a stick. I mean, I'll give it to Lister because he's also involved in criminal activity and kind of the community. I think he would have the experience.
Dave Lister versus King Aragorn.
Okay.
They have the help of their previous opponents, so that's King Aragorn and Malcolm versus Dave Lister and Jake Sisko in Olmec's Temple Run.
Okay, Jake Sisko and Lister.
Right, Jake's quite tall. Lister, I wouldn't say he's very athletic, but he does a lot of running away from things, so he's pretty good at running.
Scrappy.
Yeah, scrappy, that's the word. I imagine he himself has probably been in situations like that.
So Aragorn would be good at the puzzles. So would Malcolm. Malcolm would also be great at answering the questions and getting them a lot of pendants of life ahead of time.
Yeah, so I'll give it to
Lister-
Aragorn and Malcolm.
I do
Also-
too. I think Lister would have trouble with the puzzles, and he would also be kind of sabotaging in the other segments.
So we've got
And
two
Jake-
sides. We've got
They both have a
people,
smart guy and a physical guy.
and then we've got the physical
Yeah.
people.
I'll still go to Aragorn and.
I'd say Jake and Malcolm are pretty evenly matched intelligence-wise. I'm not sure who would have the advantage.
He's a smart boy, but he's not. He's not like on par with Malcolm.
Okay, so give Malcolm an edge there. Then Aragorn and Lister physically, Aragorn is superior there for sure.
Oh yeah,
and he would solve puzzles better inside the maze. And he would not sabotage the previous segments like Lister might.
Yeah, I reckon
he would answer badly when he thought he knew the answer. Is my point.
Aragorn and Malcolm.
I'm just thinking, like, if Aragorn didn't know the answer to a question, he wouldn't chime in and guess, and Lister absolutely would.
That's only an issue on the Steps of Knowledge, and that's not even in this contest.
But you do have to consider how many life tokens they would have.
Yeah.
We just give them each one.
Well then.
I mean, still.
So then it would be a physical thing.
It's physical, but also there are puzzles that you have to overcome. Especially the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. That completely demolished so many kids.
Oh yeah.
It's
Shrine
a 3-piece puzzle, and yet.
She's having trouble.
It is the simplest, but one of the most complicated because you got a time limit and you got to figure it out.
I'll concede.
You have to find the pieces. You have to put them on the pedestal, and then
in the right order, facing the right way.
Yeah.
I'll concede Aragorn, but I feel if it was more of a physical thing, Lister's better at thinking on his feet. I think I'm outvoted here. So
ShadowWolf, you have Ryan Seacrest, the producer, Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott from Star Trek: The Original Series, Edward from Edward Scissorhands, or the Dude, Jeffrey Lebowski from The Big Lebowski.
Let's get Edward in there. If it has to do with any plant crafting, he wins.
I'm going to submit, TJ, every named ridiculous background Star Wars character there is. You're going to have to pick between, like, Sice Noodles and Tosk.
There's one called Scumbagian or something like that.
The guy from the bar scene in Back in the Clones.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Edward versus Ka. Historical trivia. They are asked questions from their own worlds.
Oh, that'd be Ka.
It has to be Ka.
Yeah.
Edward doesn't know
Charlie, you have the Cheat from Homestar Runner, Shan Yu from Mulan, Horton the Elephant from Horton Hears a Who, or Hermione Granger from Harry Potter.
Hermy One Kenobi.
Okay. Let's put in Hermy One.
Kit Fisto.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Hermione Granger versus Prince Humperdinck in a roast of their opponent.
Hermione would kick his ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason being is Humperdinck cannot take anything.
Oh no, he's got a huge temper, and Hermione would set him off
very easily,
incredibly quickly.
So I give it to Hermione.
Star Wars. Max Rebo and the Jizz Whalers.
Yeah, Jizz is Star Wars for jazz.
Just let's get away from Star Wars. No Star Wars characters. I'm putting a ban on it, okay?
Hermione Granger versus Master Tigress. Make that Hermione Granger and Prince Humperdinck versus Master Tigress and the Xenomorph Queen in Patty Cake.
How do you win that?
You keep it going longer.
Misses. The Xenomorph Queen has very big arms, very set apart, but she has also extra arms that could help in this. And Master Tigress is very agile and can reach all the arms. It would be very impressive. Whereas Humperdinck and Hermione are just two regular humans who could do it very easily.
Yeah.
And Humperdinck might still be mad about the roast.
Yeah.
I think it would be a bit too complicated with the extra hands.
But
no, Master Tigress
could figure that out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to Master Tigress.
She'd just be using it as, like, practice.
Yeah. Okay, she could do it so much faster with the Xenomorph Queen, including having the extra 4 limbs. That might be way more impressive.
Although, wouldn't the Xenomorph Queen also have other priorities?
Yes, but but her priorities would involve reaching out, trying to grab her, and she would just be playing patty cake on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
If anybody could pull off playing patty cakes with the Xenomorph Queen, it would be Master Tigress.
Yeah, even when the tongue comes out, just off it goes. Just get rid of it. Yeah.
Right? Smack it.
Smack it back in.
The tail.
Bop it.
Nope.
Bop it, twist it, pull it.
Master Tigress versus the Riddler. Pain tolerance.
Tigress.
Oh, that's Tigress for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Question there.
I'm Ninja. In fact, how long was that sat on that spot? Like a second. Probably less than a second. Just instantly.
The Riddler's the one who was like, nope.
That's how quick
Not
she
doing this
is.
contest.
All right, who picked Hermione?
Charles.
Charlie.
Okay, so then this is TJ's turn. You've got Inspector Gadget from Inspector Gadget, Sparky from The Fairly Odd Parents, Prospero from The Tempest, or Agent Sterling Archer from Archer.
So we got Bob's
Inspector
Burgers
Gadget.
or somebody else.
Inspector Gadget versus Aaron Yeager. Modeling.
He's got to
I
go
gotta
Most
Aaron,
anime
he's
characters are
for
going to be better modeling.
everything.
From modeling.
Okay, yeah, Aaron.
All right.
Well, it depends what he's modelling. If it's devices, then
No,
are we
it's-
talking
it's
about like
clothing.
as in fashion modeling or?
Yeah, it's clothing.
okay, well,
That'd
be a
it's definitely Aaron. Then.
Aaron Yeager versus Ka. Bridge building.
Can they be the bridge?
I don't see
I
why not.
suppose they could,
But that technically
but
wouldn't
that
be
might
building,
make
would
it difficult for most applications.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
I'll give
tightrope
to
anyway.
Aaron.
So yeah, maybe. Aaron's just shooting through.
ShadowWolf. You've got Dowd from Dishonored, John Cena from the WWE, Vinny Gambini from My Cousin Vinny, or Michael Weston from Burn Notice.
So let's go ditch.
Now you've
gotta
got
find where to
the
watch Burn
Crowned
Notice.
Slime from Reciteer and Item Shop's Tale, Fluttershy from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, or Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove.
Fluttershy.
Fluttershy versus Billy Cranston, Orienteering.
I'll get to Billy.
Now,
Yeah,
Fluttershy is used to roaming around in the woods.
I thought about that, but I also think that she would get very distracted by every single animal she saw. And even if she stays on task, and she would end up asking the animals where to go, and is that really orienteering? I think Billy's just pretty smart. He can figure it out. He's good at finding coordinates and guiding people and whatnot. So
TJ, you look
And he
like
has field
you're puzzling
experience.
something through.
I'm just thinking they're both sort of in the same ballpark, aren't they?
in what sense?
They basically live in the wild, despite the fact it's like a town, but they're obviously, they can navigate the woods, so they must know some sort
But
of
she does get
orienteering.
distracted. She does
I
get
would-
distracted.
She wouldn't do bad in the woods, but finding her goal, she would not be as quick.
Yeah, but getting distracted isn't exactly a fact that says this is not orienteering. If they can orienteer,
but it's
just because you're
speed.
distracted by a waterfall doesn't mean.
It's about getting
not
to your
doing
goal first. It's a race.
Yeah, it's about getting
Oh, it's
to
a
your goal
race.
first.
Okay,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, they have
Orienteering
to
is-
reach.
Right.
They have to get from
Well, then,
like,
yeah.
one location to like 4 other ones in order.
But she can
And
fly.
it's
And
Only,
You have to be
using only a
first.
compass and a contour map.
They have
And
a
if she
compass and a map,
flies, then
and
that's
that's it.
session disqualification.
How?
She can fly.
She can just go up above and see.
She can
And
go
go
as the
back
crow
down.
flies, literally. Probably
Yeah,
would have a
how
crow
would-
helping
That
her,
wouldn't be cheating. She's still using the compass and the map.
so she might win.
She's not a fast
so-
flyer, and if she can have all,
Oh.
I mean, Billy is a Blue Ranger,
Although
Yeah.
if she
That-
finds
He
a
can use his
Zord,
morph coin.
not the Zord, but a Morph coin.
this huge Triceratops comes through.
And
Billy
then,
suddenly
and then
possessed his
Fluttershy
power.
charms it, and it stops listening to Billy.
No, he would just morph, and
Because
as a
it's an
Power Ranger, he
animal.
could just run the entire way, and that would be faster than she could.
They're always in the woods, aren't they? They're always like, hey, there's a big monster over there, and then they cut to like a guy in a suit.
And unlike the
Those are
monsters, they
often in
can't.
the city.
And unlike the monsters, the Power Rangers can't turn into lightning or turn into a flying head and
Big
and
concrete
teleport in and
trees.
out.
So it sounds like we're going with Billy.
Yeah,
so-
I think Fluttershy would get
Right.
distracted by an injured bird or something.
Billy Cranston versus Tom Brokaw. Improv comedy.
Okay, now Tom Brokaw is not known for comedy at all,
Yeah.
but he does
Billy
have a
does-
lot of experience talking to people in front of a camera and public speaking. And
I
Billy's
think
not a
Billy
comedian
can crack
either.
a few jokes. Not sure if they'd necessarily be that fun.
It very much wasn't his thing on Power Rangers. He was usually the one with the useful information. And I
Yeah.
think usually the ones with the jokes were Zach and Adam.
Yeah.
And sometimes Rocky.
don't you hate it when you get in your Megazord and turns out you're in the wrong seat?
That's the kind of jokes Billy would throw.
Tom Brokaw also interviewed a bunch of people, but he got some wacky stories you could tell.
It's improv, so they have to work off of
Hmm.
prompts given by the audience.
I don't know for sure which one would be better, but I would bet on Tom.
Yeah. I'll get on to Tom.
He may not be able to do much physical comedy, but he could probably do some pretty good verbal. All
He
right.
could fall over and break his hip. That'd be hilarious.
He's like Alex Trebek. Like he is very serious, but you know he's got some gold stashed in there, that wit.
Hidden in his basement
Charlie.
to the floorboards.
You've got
Right next to
Deputy
Alex
Joe
Trebek.
Lupo from Eureka, Carlton Banks from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Hagar the Horrible from Hagar the Horrible, or Weiwei Coyote from No Evil.
Oh, wait, Coyote, easy. And if you haven't seen that show on YouTube, you absolutely should. No Evil is amazing.
I googled
It is really
before,
good, and it's still ongoing. It's got like 52 episodes so far, and it's still going.
Yep.
Weiwei Coyote versus Tails, Mario Kart.
Oh, that's Tails for sure.
Tails.
Although Hui is pretty playful.
He is, but he would get so frustrated very quickly.
Yeah.
And he has very little experience with technology, whereas Tails is all technology.
The dang bananas and the freaking shells. Tails versus Janice. Make that Tails versus Janice versus Hui versus Clifford in Monopoly.
Clifford's
Okay,
a dog,
Janice-
can't play Monopoly. Or unless he's on the Monopoly board.
Janice is surprisingly...
In which case, God help you.
It's okay. We can accommodate for Clifford by giving him a Pop-O-Matic from Trouble.
Janice is surprisingly ruthless and more dangerous than you'd think. I give it to Miles otherwise, but I think Janice would manipulate him and generally be...
Yeah, I think he's too naive.
I
Yeah.
think this might be a game where Hui would stand a better chance.
And Janice is very nice. I mean, she can be very dangerous if she's trying to do something, but her goal is to make everyone happy. If she really wanted to win, I think she would do it really well, but I'm not sure she actually would really want to win that much. Not if it would make anybody else unhappy.
Mhm.
That's actually an interesting point. Would it make the others unhappy?
Tails would be like, oh no. Clifford would be wagging his tail regardless. I don't know anything about the other character, Hui. So
Weiwei Coyote has a bit of the trickster god. There's a little bit of the karmic justice thing.
I'm still going to go with Janice.
Yeah, I'll go
She's
with
smart.
Janice.
All
I
right.
think Janice.
Janice fends off the steel, and now she's facing Aaron Yeager. Duck calling.
Janice. They must have made a song that had a duck call in it or something.
Yeah, but then they would just bring in a duck.
They're Muppet. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I would actually go with
What
Aaron.
instrument does she play?
Yeah, she plays the lead guitar.
She does play the guitar.
Yeah.
in several
Could she
things.
use that
Make duck sounds.
to bring ducks over?
to make duck sounds?
She doesn't even necessarily have to make duck sounds. All you have to do is get ducks to come to you.
I think ducks are surprisingly attracted to noises that are nice.
I've seen that with cows, and I've seen it with ducks. I could see that. What?
If
remind
it was
me
for
of Aaron Yeager.
survival, I would give it
Yeager's
to
from Attack
Aaron.
on Titan, isn't it? He's the main character, right? So he's that guy who just cannot handle anything and screams existentially in his mind all the time.
Wait, Aaron Yeager's... oh, that's not who I thought it was. Oh,
Yeah, it's
no.
got to be Janice, just because Aaron Yeager would drive off any and all animals with his personality
Oh, no.
and or lack thereof.
I would still agree that Aaron Yeager is good at modelling. But I thought it was someone else.
Alright, so Janice.
Yes.
Alrighty. Janice versus Master Tigress. Winner goes to the final. Fiddling.
That's Janice all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of a transition would it need to be from that
I'm sure
to
she's
that?
played more than one instrument before.
She's
The whole
got
band is pretty clever.
she's got musical sensibilities to begin with. So
Yeah.
even if
Hmm.
she's not very good, I don't imagine she's got.
The
I don't
principles are
imagine
there.
she'd have a hard time getting
Yeah.
over the bar
Adjusting.
set by Tigress. All right, TJ, you get our last pick of the day. You've got Gregory from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Louis Tully, the Keymaster from Ghostbusters, Chancellor Gowron from Star Trek Space Nine,
Do we need to go
or
any
Tank
further?
from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Get Gowron in there!
Guess what?
Yes. Yes.
Chancellor Gowron versus General Martok. Cheese rolling.
Oh,
Two
Martok.
proud Klingon
Martok.
warriors running pell-mell down a steep hill after a giant wheel of cheese.
It's got to be Martok because
First
they're
one
both
to reach
warriors.
the cheese gets it.
Well, they're both warriors. Martok is a general and Gowron is a politician.
yeah, he's a politician. He's more used to talk, or at least their version of talk, than he is to actually getting stuff done. So I'm gonna give that one to Martok.
This was surprisingly easy.
General Martok versus Jessica Rabbit. Whistling.
Oh, that's got to be Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah,
She has a performative experience. She could probably
She-
whistle actual music.
She is a performer.
Yeah,
isn't
she
she?
actually does.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, Martok's teeth. Ugh.
All right, Jessica Rabbit versus Tom Brokaw. Free running.
They both have some disadvantages.
That's one way to word it.
Her
Jessica-
general outfit is generally not fit for athletic activities, much less
I mean,
acrobatic.
she can take the heels off.
I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Whereas
she's
Tom
allowed to
Brokaw
take the
can't
heels
take
off.
the ears off.
There is that.
I give it to her over Tom Brokaw.
Yeah, I'll give it to Jessica.
So now our previous champion, Detective Juliet O'Hara, steps in to take on Flintheart Glomgold. The
Glomgold.
contest is a chili cook-off.
Oh, Juliet's got a big family. I think she could have a lot of. I think she could cook.
I'm just imagining that Glomgold's chili would have like 5 ears of corn in there.
Glomgold, to make his chili the best chili, would just add like a bucket of pure capsaicin.
and
He would find the
try
hottest
to
chilies
eat
in the
it.
world and add them.
I'm seeing
Just
a,
so he could be
It's just
the best.
a Chief
Capsaicin
Wiggum
and
situation.
The merciless peppers of Quetzalcoatl.
Wiggy, my chili's getting cold.
Just a replay
Hit
of
me
that.
just
Takes a
capsaicin and
spoonful,
corn.
puts it in his mouth, heart attack.
Yeah.
Whereas Juliet would make some good chili. Wouldn't be super spicy, but it'd be good solid chili. Family recipe.
It'd be decent chili, yeah.
Juliet is from what now?
Psych. She's a detective. She's fairly smart.
Yeah. I think this is more of a cultural thing. Chili isn't really a thing that comes from like England, so we're not really
All right.
into that sort of thing. We wouldn't have the practice.
It's mostly like a
basically.
Mexican thing, and
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of the U.S. has adopted it. Detective Juliet O'Hara versus Mumbo Jumbo. Ballroom dancing. Mumbo Jumbo with Bucky and O'Hara with Glomgold.
Glomgold would sabotage the crap out of that, just even if he wasn't trying to, and he probably would be trying to because he's the most vengeful, spiteful person in the world.
But would that
Even more
come
so
into
than
play
Waluigi.
when, like,
It's a partner dance. You have
with a
have your
partner,
work
like
with you.
especially her?
Yeah, it would.
I think he'd be like laying on the charm. He wouldn't be going crazy like that. He'd be trying to.
Maybe the first time they met, but she beat him in chili cook-off. He would swear vengeance.
True.
Yeah, but they
He
want
is
to win.
exactly that kind of guy.
But he wouldn't win. He's helping her win.
Remember rule number 1. Characters may have other priorities that outweigh a contest victory, such
Yeah,
as
and also
self-preservation, pain
yeah.
avoidance,
If she can
or
pay
spite.
him,
You can't pay him that much.
in
Yeah.
that
He is the
case,
second richest duck
He's a
in the
detective.
world.
Could Mumbo Jumbo shrink himself?
yeah,
Yeah, he could.
Bumbo.
That's the
Strange.
one obstacle I see with them.
I would probably give it to Mumbo Jumbo even if he didn't think to shrink himself. So Mumbo picks up the champion ball and faces King Aragorn in a cringe competition.
Mumbo.
Yeah, he's more.
Just turn to Aragorn or something and be like, ugh!
He understands more.
Aragorn is timeless and worldly, and everybody likes him. It'd be hard to make it for him to make people cringe.
Whenever I hear this, whenever I think of a cringe competition, I just imagine what any of them would look like doing the dad dance, and just seeing if it would work with them. And if it works,
Okay, let's think about this. Because Aragorn, I mean, Mumbo Jumbo is a goofy character. So
Yeah.
things to do that are goofy is one thing, but it's not exactly cringy. Aragorn's a very serious guy. If he tried to do cringy things or funny things, people are like, no, stop, please. Just because of
cringe
his
is that
serious
way.
and stoic nature, him trying to be cringe might be cringy.
so it's like a feedback loop.
Yeah, actually, then yeah, if it's
A
that
helpful
way, then
backfire.
Aragorn.
He did it by accident.
Actually, that would count.
It would count.
Yeah, I'll give it to Aragorn.
Are
What-
we giving
what
this
is the
to
accident?
Aragorn?
What?
I think we may have accidentally given this to Aragorn.
Yeah,
Accidentally.
Him trying to be cringy isn't what made the cringe happen. It was him trying to be cringy that was cringe.
I guess so. I'm not fully
Yeah.
convinced by my own argument, but
You said it.
yeah, you were the one that said it.
I say all
Oh.
kinds of nonsense. Doesn't mean I believe
Yeah,
it.
me too.
King Aragorn versus Jessica Rabbit versus Tom Brokaw versus Mumbo Jumbo. Winner goes to the final. It's hide and seek.
Okay. We can write off Tom Brokaw
Yeah.
and Jessica Rabbit, I think, honestly.
Yeah, it's hard to miss.
It's the matter. I mean, Aragorn's a ranger. He's really good at this. The question is any of Mumbo Jumbo's magic going to help him beat the best ranger in the world?
He does have invisibility.
And if anybody could beat that, I feel like it might be Aragorn. Like, he'd have to, like,
Magic.
shrink himself, hide himself.
If he's got the One Ring, maybe he would, but I don't think he does.
I still think it's Aragorn.
He doesn't have the One Ring, but he does have invisibility spells.
If
Aragorn's the kind of
had the
ranger
One
that
Ring,
you would have a location spell, know exactly where he is, and still not be able to find him.
If there was any hobbits involved here, then they'd be brilliant at hide and seek.
Hobbits are very good at this, but honestly, it's just Mumbo Jumbo's too goofy. I think he would mess it up. Sure.
He could turn himself into something.
And Aragorn because it'd be something out of place, like a dishwasher, and Aragorn would spot it and be like,
Yes. If he turns Aragorn into a washing machine, then he automatically wins, because washing machines can't look for people.
I'm just saying, Aragorn was playing hide and seek and winning against Sauron for 80 years.
I'm all about it.
But you'd think...
Alright.
You'd think, with someone who can do invisibility, they'd be pretty good at hiding. How has this happened?
Invisibility is a tool, you still need to use it well.
So there's our final, King Aragorn versus Janice.
Who'd have thought? I was voting for the Klingons.
TJ had a good idea for a change to how the final works. If someone who has already been eliminated manages to steal a match, they are granted entry into the final for future for the remaining matches.
Yeah,
for example, if in the
chance.
first match, for instance, Master Tigress manages to steal a win, it's now a 3-way final.
You should have seen that what I sent to him. I was just saying, this is bull. It was Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime won one of the final things and then just got thrown away right at the end. What the
Context, TJ has just finished editing Tournament 12.
So what was the point? What was the point of having him in there if he didn't have a chance to win?
Because maybe another multi-group one might come in and he might win that one too.
Yeah, it's just, it was intended to be rare, just not lightning strike rare. So anyway, Janice versus King Aragorn. Model building.
Ooh.
They have a boxed model kit, and they're trying to build it.
Very much Aragorn.
And we're gonna say it's the most complex model available.
I get Aragorn. He has
like a ship in a bottle, but it's like a full-on rigging and everything.
I get Aragorn. He actually has patience.
A lot of patience, a lot of years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And Janice has felt hands. From one ship-based activity to another, it's Battleship.
Aragorn, he's...
Oh, I don't know.
He's a king. He's all about strategy.
But he has to be able to read Janice.
This also isn't necessarily a strategy game so much as it is an algorithm game.
I would give Janice an advantage here.
She's a Muppet.
None of the disadvantages Muppets have apply here.
Just to bring in...
She's more cunning than she seems. She's manipulative. And she would do some crazy, put all of her ships in one corner that Aragorn could not believe she would do.
Just to bring in another bit of English slang, Muppet is another word for idiot, okay? She's a Muppet.
She's not, though.
She's not.
She is.
I would still give it to Aragorn.
Only with a capital M.
I'll give it to Janice on that one.
I think he would underestimate Janice, and that would give her the victory.
Last up, it's ballet.
Janice. Actually, no. Aragorn probably.
They do have to wear the tutu.
That's okay. Male ballerinas are a thing. They're very agile.
I was saying, Aragorn would probably have to have some ballet skills.
Ballroom dancing. I'm just putting that out there. You'd think a king would know how to dance.
That's what I'm saying. Aragorn would be trained in a lot of different things.
But he's also a ranger, which is basically kind of like a ninja. He has got a great agility and can move very carefully and gracefully.
You're right.
Yeah, I'll give it to Aragorn on that one.
But it's one step closer. I'm seeing this in stages. How close can we get each one to the mark?
Also, doesn't Janice dance as part of the?
I mean, part
of their performances.
Not ballet though.
I imagine she would probably be quite. If they were to ever put her in that situation, she would probably be quite graceful. So they probably would. In fact, I haven't watched the Muppet Show, but maybe they have done that in the past.
There's even a new Muppet Show specifically starring the band.
So I would imagine Janice would probably win this, but I feel like Aragorn would probably. No.
Janice is not a ballet dancer. Janice would be a free movement.
Yeah, free dancer.
She's sort of based on a hippie, isn't she?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And where Aragorn is a specific classically trained kind of mover.
Though.
It wouldn't.
They've got the day. They're not thinking about anything else. Okay, they've got all their prior experiences have led up to this. Okay, they've had 2 hours with a ballet instructor. Okay, telling them what to do. Who's best?
Aragorn.
Yeah, Janice would not be able to follow instructions very well. She would go rogue very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The moment you said go
She's-
rogue like that,
She's too much of a free person.
she'd start waving her arms about, being crazy. Like a Muppet
All right.
would.
It's been a long time coming. King Aragorn is now our champion.
Finally, the crown has been placed upon the head of the king.
But we will see if he can hang on to it next time. But first, where can you all be found? ShadowWolf.
Twitch.tv/ShadowWolf668. I'm not streaming currently, but I'm trying to get back into it.
Charlie.
I am the proprietor of Fire Thieves Studio, where I do my art and make all kinds of crazy things. I'm going to be, hopefully, by the time this airs, have some YouTube stuff up. So take a look for Fire Thieves Studio on YouTube, on Facebook, and on the website, firethievestudio.com.
TJ.
Twitch.tv/TJ Pownell. I am streaming regularly, and I've just started a new Pokemon series. I say series as if it's a recorded, edited video. It's not. I'm just playing Pokemon White 2 now, so join in for that.
Also, if you like the stuff that we do and want to see more, there's raspberrygrenade.games, and if you'd like to throw some money our way, that'd be kind of nice. You can go to patreon.com/raspberrygrenade. In the meantime, though, King Aragorn has outdanced Janice, and he built a more complex model. He played hide-and-seek better than Jessica Rabbit. He was able to make an audience cringe more effectively than Mumbo Jumbo. And he ran Olmec's Temple faster than Dave Lister, and he planned more dastardly than Malcolm, which makes him our champion. But he'll be back next time to defend his title against 31 new competitors, because this is still anyone's game.
Anyone's game!
Anyone's Game is a production of Raspberry Grenade Games, copyright 2023, all rights reserved.